What's up, guys? It's your boy Zion, and I'm bringing you another Destiny video. In this one, I wanted to do a little bit of a story time video. I talked to you guys a couple months back. I want to say like back in May, and I had said why I hadn't posted for a while because I went inactive for about a week or two. And just like basically did it out of necessity or something where I had so much I had to take care of and a bunch of crap I had to like fix that it wasn't feasible for me to go ahead and do any kind of videos. Or I actually didn't even like touch Destiny for like 2 weeks. I was so far behind. Once I came back, it wasn't even funny. But I had a situation happen where it was like my own fault, and I kind of like backed myself into a corner and fucked up a little bit. So like I told you guys then I didn't want to talk about it since it wasn't like a funny situation yet. It was something where it really wasn't fun like going through. It wasn't fun dealing with, but like now I'm pretty comfortable talking with it, so I figured I'd go ahead and share it with you guys since I promised you guys a few months ago that I would. And I do. I have like no problems talking about it now. I've gone ahead and talked to a couple people about it who have asked about it. So now it's just something where it's like it's kind of a funny story for like everyone who wasn't me at the time, but at the time when like everything was going down, I was not too happy and not like ready to like go out and talk about everything. So let's go ahead and hop into it. Well, I guess I'm gonna call this something. I don't even know what I'm gonna name this video yet. However, what basically ended up happening was, let me set the background stage, I guess you could say. I went ahead and I've told you guys before, I work at a retail store, so I work closely. I'm actually a manager. I work with several other people and have to lead like whole shifts. Well, we'd had things before like coworkers dating and things like that, and everyone is usually pretty cool about it. Nobody like reports you to corporate, even though it's kind of frowned upon. As long as it doesn't like mess with your work, everyone typically doesn't care. Well, it got to I had worked with this girl for a long time, probably like a year and a half, 2 years, and we had been pretty close, had been like talking and stuff, and she got her cousin to go ahead and apply and ended up getting her a job at the store. Now, her cousin and I hit it off and started talking pretty soon after she got hired, and we talked. I ended up like almost a month after she got hired, I went out to Vegas for a week for my birthday. Now, we went ahead and talked like the whole time I was in Vegas. It was one of those things. I had a couple close friends I'd keep in touch with and keep updated and check in on me, and then like she'd do the same thing, and we hadn't known each other that long. So the biggest problem is like we both kind of liked each other, but she had a boyfriend at the time. So I kept telling her I wanted to like stop like talking or like things like that, especially since she had a boyfriend. I didn't want to get in between them. I didn't want it to be like anything where I was that like side guy, or I broke up their relationship or anything like that. So like I was saying, we could be friends, we could still like talk and hang out and shit, but like nothing was gonna happen as long as she had a boyfriend. And then what ended up happening was kind of the opposite, kind of sort of. I got back from Vegas and we started just like hanging out and talking, like chilling in random places and just talking till like 1, 2 in the morning, like not even doing anything. And then what ended up happening was she asked me to come over. So I was like, okay, I'll come over. I went over to the apartment she was staying at, which was her cousin's mom's apartment. It was a situation where like the cousin who I had worked with for a while had moved out prior and was already living with her boyfriend. So her cousin had been renting her room from the girl's mom. So she was paying rent on the room she was staying in and everything. So she ended up like sneaking me in because she didn't want, like I said, I worked with her cousin. She didn't want her cousin to run her mouth about like we were hanging out and stuff like outside of work, anything like that. So she wanted to like keep it so I wouldn't get into any trouble. Like her cousin had snitched on like other managers before and tried to get them fired because she was looking to move up. So she was doing things to like sneak me into her apartment and stuff so we could hang out, because she didn't want her cousin to know like we were talking or hanging out or anything. And it got to the point like I snuck over the one day. We ended up just chilling. We were watching like a movie in her room and shit. And all of a sudden, like her cousin comes bursting through the locked door. They had shoved like a pin or whatever into the lock release to go ahead and get it to open. And her cousins come bursting in through the room. So like I ended up hiding. So they come bursting through the thing, and we like covered up with a blanket and said like she said she had a migraine, shit like that, which was a dumb excuse. And like the whole situation was kind of messed up. Like I don't see the point in why someone would just burst into their room. However, it happened. We ended up getting caught, but the reaction was like sheer panic. So what ended up happening after that was she didn't want me to leave, which was one of the like big mistakes, because after they burst into her room, I was just ready to leave. I did not want to like stick around or anything, especially since like her cousin was there and her cousin was gonna have a fit and probably like try to get me fired at some point. So I was just ready to leave, ready to sneak back out. And it was something where it was like, okay, her cousins are probably looking for me. Like if they notice anything, they're probably looking for me. So don't leave yet. Just hide here in the room. So I ended up like hiding in the closet, fucking like some R. Kelly shit, like trapped in the closet, and had to sit there and listen to the two of them like yell back and forth because her cousin did actually notice something. So it was one of those like fucked up situations. I'm hiding in the closet listening to all of them argue, listening to the cousin like not dropping it, things like that, even though like the girl I was talking to was paying rent on the room she was at, so she basically had every right to have someone over. And we weren't even doing anything. Like it's not like they walked in on us having sex. We weren't kissing, we weren't making out, we were literally just chilling there watching a movie. And it got to the point where I ended up getting caught. Like the girl figured out I was in the closet, like opened up the closet, and the girl who was paying rent and I was talking to ended up getting kicked out. Like they kicked her out that night. We're like, yeah, you can't be here. That's not cool. Whatever, just get out. Which, in hindsight, I mean, like I guess was fair. Like not telling the person she was renting from someone was coming over probably wasn't the best decision, but it probably wasn't cool, especially since they were family, to just kick her out even though she was paying rent on all her shit. So I mean, I can't look into that. I wasn't a part of that too much, but she ended up getting kicked out that night. We had to figure out like where she was gonna stay, things like that, and I ended up she ended up living with me for about a month or so. So that's why I did not post. It was kind of like a fucked up story, but it went on to like I basically got compared to R. Kelly for about 2 months. Fucking every R. Kelly joke you could possibly make. If you guys have any, go ahead, blow up the comment section. Have a blast. Go ahead and hit me with some R. Kelly jokes. I love to hear them. So that's my story. That's why I basically went MIA here on YouTube and left you guys hanging for about like 2 weeks of just figuring shit out. It was kind of like a fucked up story, but yeah, fucking R. Kelly. Shit. So, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, a comment, a favorite, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you guys later. Peace.